Good evening, guys, and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. Well, guys, I don't have a grocery haul for you guys from any of the stores, and honestly, I probably won't this week, which I am frustrated about because I really wanted to be able to share with you guys the deals, and I really wanted to do the deals that were going on this week for Memorial Day weekend. There was lots of good stuff that, like I said, was going on. However, we just weren't able to, we didn't have a good time to be able to go today. Obviously, my parents ended up coming back, and then nobody really wanted to go, and so and it just turned into kind of a whole thing. So we ended up I ended up actually power washing the back deck today, which was awesome, though I got to that. And the funny thing is that my dad literally, I told you guys, I was like, I'm gonna wait to power wash the deck until he gets home so that he can set it up. All he did was get it out of the garage, and then I still set everything up. So I was like, I probably could have just done this on my own while they weren't here, because I told you guys that was kind of one of the bigger things that we were doing. Well, I mean, kind of one of the things that I wanted to do in order before we ended up putting up the cabana curtains and also to our bistro lights. So I wanted to wait on that until that was done. And then once we were done with it, you know, like power washing the deck, we can hang that stuff up. So it was kind of in an order I wanted to get it done. Whereas like we cleared off the deck first, then again too, we ended up power washing the deck, and then, like I said, get those other two things done. So we're gonna probably end up doing that tomorrow. But I was hot mess coming inside from that, so I already showered. I had actual dirt all over my face, like specks. I was good for almost the entire thing until I was cleaning. I didn't do the entire deck. I just ended up doing the floorboard sort of, just like the actual deck part, not the top, because honestly we did it 3 years ago, I think, and it's looked very good since then. Like, it doesn't really look like it needs any special attention or anything like that. Like, there's no like moss really on it or, you know, anything. Whereas, like I said, the first year I did it, which was it wasn't last year, but I think it was the year before that, so like 2 years ago, or 3, whatever that is, but something, I think somewhere around there. Anyways, so when I did that, though, there was like chunks of moss on the one side of it, and so I had to power wash it off. It still has not come back. Like, nothing looks especially as bad as it did before I'd done it, but it was just like, you know, it again probably could use it, but it doesn't really need to be. So I didn't end up washing any of the top stuff, just the floorboards and everything like that, because it gets so muddy from the dogs running on them when it's, you know, when it's, you know, been raining outside and they're all muddy, and, you know, just again, people walking across it and just like collective dirt on the bottom just needs to be cleaned, and you can definitely notice a difference between it being cleaned and not being cleaned. So that we do normally every year in the spring. That's what we've done for the last 2 years now. And so, like I said, though, the first year I did the whole deck, the top and everything like that, but I didn't really need to do that. I just, like I said, last year though, I did the same thing where I just did the bottom. So I was doing that though, but I was kind of doing along the bottom floorboard parts, and I ended up hitting a patch of mud, and it just all ended up coming all over me, and I, like I said, had specks of mud like everywhere on me. So we ended up, I got that done today, and then too, when I was just about finished up with that, I asked Jack if he could do the weed and feed that we had in the front yard. We also have like a grub, like insect control, like stuff to do in the front lawn. I had him do that. We don't do the back lawn just because of the pets. Like, we'll bring the guinea pigs in the backyard and also to the dogs, and so we don't end up doing anything in the back lawn. In the back lawn, honestly, too, you can tell big difference between the front yard and the backyard because we do that every year, but we don't do the backyard. So like I said, it's just for them. There is stuff that is pet safe, and some of the stuff like that we use, I think for the most part it just says like, don't let them walk on it for so long before, you know, whatever. That's a lot of what it says, and there's other ones that are a lot more pet friendly than others, but for the same reason too, our dogs love to eat grass. I don't want to put any chemicals in the back lawn that they would end up then consuming, or the same too with the guinea pigs as well. So that's why, like I said, the back lawn does not look as pretty as the front lawn, but it's just like, I mean, there's a lot that we can do still naturally to help, like, with the grass and the lawn. We just haven't done a lot in the backyard. So, but the front yard, we ended up putting all that stuff in. And one of the other reasons too we do the front lawn is because it is, like the weeds have a tendency to, they get in the lawn, then they get into the flower beds. Worse in the front yard than in the backyard too. So that's another reason why we do that in the front lawn. Just because, like I said, it's a lot worse to try and weed the garden beds in the front lawn than it is in the back as well, or like the front yard versus the backyard. So that's, like I said, another like purpose for doing that. But Jack ended up doing that, and then as well, I told you guys that our lawn was looking a little crispy for some reason. It's even though it's still like early in spring and it hasn't been super hot out, we just haven't gotten any rain. So I feel like though, even in spring, even when we don't get a lot of rain, it's still, we don't get, the lawn doesn't look as, like I said, crispy as it does right now. But I think it's just because, like I said, we haven't gotten rain in a while, and it's been warmer, but it hasn't been insanely hot. So I don't know, it just seems like, you know, I don't know, we just needed to water it. So when Jack finished doing that, then we set up the sprinklers, watered everything in the front yard, and then we also did the backyard as well, because the backyard, again too, the grass just looked crispy, so we needed to do a little bit of watering. So everything in the backyard though, like the backyard looks so nice and pretty right now because everything is just like Jack weeded, weed whacked, or mowed the lawn. I weeded the flower beds, like everything just looks very nice back there. The front yard, I didn't weed anything that's in the front yard yet, so it needs a little bit of, I guess, extra help too, because I haven't done anything so far in there at all, and those are the bigger beds than the backyard. So but like things that are blooming back there, like the crocuses are blooming right now, the lilac bush is blooming right now, like everything just looks very pretty back there. So we, you know, like and everything too is just like cleaned up, the deck's cleaned, like all that kind of stuff. It just, the backyard looks very nice. And so, and we have all the hummingbird feeders like all filled up and everything, and there's birds flying around and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, we ended up though, like I said, we got to that today, which I was telling you guys. I wasn't planning actually on power washing the deck, but I did, so, which was awesome. But I did want to get the like weed and feed stuff in the front yard, which we got to, which was awesome. So, but like I was telling you guys too, I just like, also too, because tomorrow we're celebrating my dad's birthday and like all that kind of stuff, I think we're gonna just make a quick run to Aldi and that's it. And possibly Menards too, to also get whatever project things we might need. To, you know, work on some more of the upstairs stuff, because again too, I just didn't have the time this week, and even to try and go on on Tuesday too, like there's some sales too that were only like a 3-day sale or 4-day sale and whatever. I just am kind of, I don't know, not like, I made a meal plan, but now like that it's so late, like I kind of thought like, oh well, you know, like Sunday night we'll do something, then Monday, and then, you know, like whatever. And because I didn't have the time to go now, I just don't want to be pressed for time. And on top of that too, because it's Memorial Day tomorrow, I feel like the stores will probably be pretty busy, and like, you know, because a lot of people will be out shopping because everybody's off work, or just to like for, you know, like for dinner things, you know, that kind of stuff. It's just gonna be busy, and I just don't really want to go through the whole headache of now also to changing my meal plan around, taking things off the list that I originally had because some of the sales aren't like going on. We didn't go to Meijer already this week. I'm just kind of to the point where I'm like, I don't think I want to go. Like I just, you know, like again, it's so late. I don't know how much of what we ended up wanting to get is still gonna be there. Like again, a lot of that stuff. So I'm just passing on the grocery shopping for this week because like I said, it's like too last minute now. Like I was like prepared to go earlier in the week, but because we didn't and we couldn't and that kind of stuff, I'm just like, I don't want to go and try and kind of like almost scrape by with what they have left, and again too, going kind of like last minute. And like that's the thing too, is that when I go to the grocery store and I do like the couponing stuff, normally I set that up for kind of like the week or like the weekend or whatever. And also too, in like some of the stuff that I was gonna get was probably gonna be in combination with things that I wanted to use for over this week. So, or like this weekend. And so now again too, since all that ended up changing, I'm just like, I don't know, like, again, too, if I was going to get corn. I was going to get corn so that we could do it when we grilled, and I was thinking of grilling tonight, and then also, too, on Monday, and possibly on Tuesday. But it's, like, because we're not, like, some of that stuff, again, has changed, I don't want to go and be like, yeah, let's get, like, 4 corns or 8 corn or whatever, and then, you know, end up, like, having too much and we're not using all of it. And so, like, my plan is changed now because of how late we're going. And so I just, like I said, I'm not, like, just, that's one example, but there's, like I said, just a lot of that stuff where I'm just like, I don't know what I want to do with, you know, again, some of the stuff that's, you know, like the sales stuff that's also going on for this week. So I'm like, I'm just going to pass on it, and again, to pick up the handful of things at Aldi that we probably need. Just so that, again, too, we can do something for, like, dinner tonight, or dinner for tomorrow, and probably on Tuesday, and we'll just see, like I said, where we kind of go from there. But, again, I'm not really in the mood for replanning out everything and remaking my list almost to go now in adjustment to everything. So like I said, I don't want to go over all that again. I'm just passing on it. So like I said, it stinks, but, again, too, I guess there were other circumstances, not having a car, you know, got my parents not being here, all that kind of stuff that kind of contributed to all of it. But, I'm hoping now, though, that I can go then to the grocery stores, like, early to start this week, and we might go to Meijer because it's, like, the start to this week's sales, maybe on, like, you know, probably on Wednesday when we've been going. But, like I said, it's just, you know, all that kind of stuff combined. And, you know, again, too, I don't want to be out at the grocery store all day, so I don't want to be having to go to all of them. I also don't want to take a ton of time because I feel like, again, too, they're going to be busy, and to spend that away from being able to spend time with family, and again, too, celebrating my dad's birthday, which we're doing tomorrow instead of on Tuesday, which is on Tuesday. But like I said, doing that instead because we don't have the time to, you know, like, we're out at the stores all, you know, all day tomorrow. So like I said, I'm just gonna make it short, just go to Aldi and see if we can't go to Menards too, because we do need another bag of dog food, because I barely got by with what we had. And then my dad bought a new bag, but I told you guys we mixed the dog food, and so I need the other bag so that I can mix it. But we made it. I think I was telling you guys too, I was like, I'm really scared that we're not gonna have enough dog food left when my parents are gone on vacation, and we just barely got by. So I think we have enough for maybe like 1, maybe 2 days left, and so we should be good. But again, too, we can probably go to, again, Menards tomorrow, and just, like, we also don't have, like, the vegetables. Like, that's the whole thing, is that I'm trying to, like, get stuff done, like, while, again, my parents were gone over this week, you know, with, like, Memorial Day, you know, coming up, but also, too, because it's the start of summer. I want to get all of the outside stuff set up, done, you know, all of that, in preparation for being able to spend, you know, nights outside on the back porch with, you know, the bistro lights on, and, you know, like, all that kind of stuff. I just want to be able to enjoy that time outside, and I want to get that stuff set up. And it's hard too when we're also doing a renovation project upstairs, where it's like, I don't want to take time away from that. So whatever me and Jack could do on our own and on our own time, you know, kind of over this week, try and get that stuff set up. So like I said, the big thing that I still didn't finish was the front flower beds, but I can probably do that maybe some point during this, you know, coming week. But I'm gonna probably, because when I tend to do them, I tend to just be like, I'm going to do all the beds in one day. And it always ends up completely kicking me in the behind. And I can't, like, I'm, like, out for, like, the next, like, week. I can't do anything. So I want to just take one bed at a time, and maybe even to, like, half of a bed at a time, and not overwork myself. Just do, like I said, a little bit. Because when I tend to do that, I tend to, like, just kind of be like, okay, I think it's good enough, instead of actually like being diligent and making sure that I'm, like, weeding it and getting all the stuff out, like, you know, properly, I guess. Sometimes I'm just kind of like, it looks good, because I'm starting to get tired and don't want to keep going. So like I said, I'm going to try and break it down maybe even a little bit smaller and do that kind of stuff. So that would be awesome if I can try and get to some of that next week. And like I said too, maybe not take quite as much time, because like on a day when I weed all the flower beds in the front lawn, it takes me all day, versus again too, I did the backyard too, the beds are so small that it doesn't take me quite as much time. And I'd done one of them the one day earlier, like last week on Thursday when I was out there. I did over half of it, and so I was like, this isn't going to be hard to do, just the one other bed and then the half of the one that was still back there. So again, that really didn't take me much time. The front, like I said, they're much bigger beds, so it takes me a lot longer. But I didn't like get super tired or like, you know, worked myself up too much doing the ones that were in the back. So that's what I'm hoping I can kind of do the front ones. But, you know, and break all of that down and do smaller chunks, you know, over the course of the days, versus just being like, let's try and get them all done in one day. So like I said, that would be my plan, because they, like, especially compared to the backyard, I'm like, the front yard looks very, the front flower beds are like, there's weeds all over in them, and I'm like, I need to really get in here and probably take care of some of this stuff. And like also too, right now there's dead spring flowers, like the tulips have all died down, and like I need to get them out of there. And so it's like a combination of a whole lot of stuff that needs to be taken care of in those beds. But like we have that, we have to go and get our vegetables for the vegetable garden beds. Like there's a lot of stuff that still needs to get done. But like I said, I'm super happy with what me and Jack got done so far this week, and there's just a little bit left to do in the backyard, and the backyard's done. Again too, just hanging up those couple things that we got to get hung up, and just putting the furniture back on the deck, because I left it off so that we can dry off the deck, and I put it under like the grilling gazebo. So when that's done, I can just move it back off there. But again, I'm super happy with how the backyard turned out, and again to all of our work that we've gotten done. But it kind of comes at the sacrifice of also to not really getting to the grocery stores this week as well, because, you know, again, we didn't have, again, time and cars and, you know, all that kind of stuff. We were able to use our time productively, whereas again too, I might have spent getting grocery lists done and grocery shopping done and stuff like that. Since I didn't have that this week, I was able to get, you know, that stuff done in the backyard, which was nice. So I will see you guys though all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, I'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.